Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com. We're still working on the W's. Oh my goodness, in our random reviews from the Overflow room as I'm refiling, but we're getting there. We're getting there. It's happening, thank goodness. And now we are on John Williams, the film music composer. And he's done so much in such an illustrious career. And I have this enormous pile of John Williams stuff, some of which is duplicated and some of which is not. So we're just going to go through and see what these marvelous movies are. As some of you have noticed recently, I do a lot of film music because I think some of the greatest music written in the 20th century was written for film. It's incidental music, just as in the 19th century, like Grieg's Peer Gynt or Sibelius's Peleus and Melisande and all these other things. Incidental music is great music. Bizet's L'Arlésienne, music for the theater, music for the stage, music for film. And these are great composers who are no less great because they have to write for a purpose. And boy, oh boy, is this good stuff. There is so much. And John Williams has been around for so long. He just celebrated like his 90th birthday. But it's amazing. He did the theme music for like Lost in Space, the TV show in the 60s. So he's had an enormously varied and long career. It's been going on for like 60, 70 years, well, at least 60 years, 60 plus years. So it's astonishing, an incredible legacy. And this is just a small piece of it. Only the bits that made it to the Overflow room. The rest are up with the regular stuff. So there you go. Let's see what we have. I will be talking about some of these things as individual titles, as in our survey of specific film scores, because I have a whole nother John Williams section. But it is a remarkable legacy, and I think we should celebrate him in his own Overflow room video. The only reason it's in the Overflow room is I just don't have space for all of it, or I didn't back in the day. So we start with, and these are in no order, Earthquake. Yeah, Earthquake. Remember, that was fun with, who was it, Charlton Heston and Ava Gardner. She gets sucked away by the open sewer line or whatever, and he goes after her and disappears at the end. And it was in Sense-Around. You go into the theater and there are those subwoofers there that would like make the room shake, and it was a terrible film, but it was so much fun. One of those cast of thousands disaster movies like The Towering Inferno and The Poseidon Adventure, and then, oh God, it was fun. Okay, so there's that. Then we've got Star Wars, of course. We have to have all the Star Wars stuff. And here is, yes, this is the original Star Wars. Since then there's been, and I think I have more of them in here, the Star Wars remake and the special edition and the expanded version. And then, of course, there have been a billion Star Wars movies. So, the Wagnerian endless leitmotif operation continues. Superman, absolutely one of his great scores. Phenomenal. And this is 2 discs with John Debney and the Royal Scottish National Orchestra. This is one of those fabulous Robert Townsend, Varese Sarabande remake things where they do it all in fabulous sound with all of the music. Yeah. Schindler's List, not my favorite, to be honest with you. I found it, it was appropriate to the film, of course. It really was. And boy, did they make a meal out of it with violin things going all over the place and themes from Schindler's List and all that. But I was not an enormous fan of the score. Score. The movie was a very good movie, wasn't it? And here is the original Superman soundtrack as opposed to the remake of Superman with much, much less music. Oh my goodness, it's like a fraction of what you see on that 2-disc spectacular. Raiders of the Lost Ark. Gotta have Raiders of the Lost Ark, don't we? Another fabulous tune. Da 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 da. Well, I can't do that because I'll get a copyright claim. You have to be careful with these. The Missouri Breaks. There's one that we don't listen to with some bonus tracks. Let's see, film versions, main title, Train Robbery, Jane and Logan. There we go, The Missouri Breaks. Dracula, the original motion with Frank Langella, right? Isn't that the guy who was Dracula in this? Yeah, this is very cool, and it's nice to see some good horror movie scoring from John Williams, instead of just the usual sci-fi stuff that he's become famous for since, because like I said, he's an incredibly versatile composer. The collector's edition of Close Encounters of the Third Kind. This is another great, great score because it had so much room for music. it was about music, right? It was about a musical motif that everybody was doing. So that he had an opportunity to write just these glorious sort of symphonic fantasy numbers here, where it's like, you know, the light show and Barnstorm, the mothership. Ooh, remember that? That was great. Okay, The Empire Strikes Back, more Star Wars stuff. I kind of gave up on Star Wars after like the third one. I really did. They didn't interest me, so I don't have those scores either because I figure, well, I've heard them. Jaws and Jaws. Are these the same? I think these are the same. I think I just got two of them somehow. Well, this is MCA, this is Decca. Yeah, I think they're the same ones. No, this is more. This has 12 tracks containing previously unreleased music. Yes, the Collector's Anniversary Edition. That's why I got that one. Oh, there's that one. Steve McQueen and the Reavers. Oh, this was wonderful. This is a terrific score, a totally different style. And so it's wonderful to hear as an expansion of our knowledge of John Williams. It's making its CD debut from the Columbia legacy with one extra track. It was the first score written by John Williams for a major film, and it inspired Steven Spielberg to hire him to write the music for his own films. It's an early Americana kind of thing. Yes, Copeland and those people. And also, as is also the Cowboys, another Western thingy. Everyone should have to write Westerns. They have to do scores for Westerns. Hook, Captain Hook, which is, you know, Peter Pan from a different perspective. So that's rather cool. And then we have John Williams conducting the Star Wars trilogy on Sony. I mean, that's just, you know, that was just a Sony exploitation release, as they call it, which he's continued to exploit endlessly. Like, have you seen those 90th birthday tributes? They're all like the same music with the Berlin Philharmonic and the Vienna Philharmonic, and they all play Star Wars. It's like, who cares? E.T., so that's fun. And Jurassic Park. Here's Jurassic Park. And last but not least, and most recently, or partly most recently, Harry Potter. There you go. That's a pretty big selection of thingies there. There they are. We put them all away. And that's John Williams, just John Williams. And it's only, like I said, a dent in one of the most extraordinary lifetimes in film and television scoring that anybody has ever done. And he is a master. Not to mention his concert music, which is completely different in style. So that's a lot of fun. Keep on listening, friends. I'll see you for some more Williamses. Anon. Take care.